Good morning, students of class 9. Please welcome back to the online portal now. Let's continue our lesson in history. We are doing socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. After French Revolution, we are learning Russian Revolution. Here we will learn about socialism. And in our previous class, that is 1.1, we have learned about different categories, different groups of societies during those times, during 17th and 18th century. And during 19th century, some changes took place. So we have learned about liberals, we have learned about radicals, we have learned about conservatives, their ideas, their way of living and the way of thinking, their ideals we have learned about. Now, a little bit more left of this, 1.1. Such differing ideas of liberals, radicals and conservatives. Their ideas were quite different. Differing ideas of these different groups of societies about social change. They wanted to change. Social change they want to bring about. Even conservatives also wanted to change some of the old system. These social changes clashed during the social and political turmoil. Turmoil means disturbance. Their ideas clashed. Their ideas differed during these social and political disturbances that followed the French Revolution. After the French Revolution, the ideas of liberty, ideas of rights, sovereignty spread all over Europe and around the world. These ideas, some of them took it seriously, some of them just ignored it, such as conservatives, and the ideas, some of them they followed it, implemented in their society. These ideas differed a lot, and it created a lot of disturbance during the 19th century. Now here, number 2, various attempts at revolution were made. Through revolution, various attempts were made to change the society and national transformation in the 19th century. As I have told you, the social change took place during the 19th century. Various attempts were made by liberals, various attempts were made by radicals, and even conservatives. Some of the conservatives, they wanted to have some changes. Not all changes. The past has to be protected and respected, but some new ideas have to be implemented. These conservatives, some of the conservatives thought in this way. So the ideas differed during the 19th century, and they took certain steps and attempts were taken during revolution for the creation of nation state as well as transformation of the society during the 19th century. This helped define both the limit and potential of these political tendencies. This will help them both, the limit of the powers and the political potential, not political, potential, capacity of these political tendencies. Tendencies means likelihood of going in a particular direction. What was the particular direction? To form a nation state, to arouse the sense of nationalism and socialism. Now that is about 1.1. Now we'll talk about 1.2. We'll go to 1.2. Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution will go to 1.2. Here another society. A new society will be created. Industrial society means the workers who work in industries. A new society was created and social change. So now here in this is the title, subtitle. This is the main title, this is the subtitle. Now here we'll talk about subtitle. There are certain points I've written over here. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. There are more, but we cannot do all the things at one go. Number 1, these political trends. We are talking about these political movements, differences, were signs. These differing ideas of liberals, radicals and conservatives, it is a sign of new time. It is a sign of changing times. It was a time when new cities came up. The new cities came up, were being built, urbanization was taking place, and new industrial regions were also developed. Industrial regions were also developed. Industries were being set up near the towns. Industrial towns were set up. Railways were expanding for the transportation of raw materials, for the transportation of finished goods to the ports. Railways expanded and industrial revolution occurred. Industrial revolution means one after another industries were being set up. There was a kind of competition among the rich to construct or to build or set up industries. There was an industrial revolution. Now, industrialization, after the construction of many industries by the capitalist, by the rich, industrialization brought men, women, children to factories. People flocked in factories. The towns and cities were crowded with people who came from remote areas, from villages in search of work. They wanted to work in factories. So the people flocked into the factories or into the towns. So men, women, children, the industrialization brought these people into factories, in towns. Work hours, many of them they got the job in the industries, but the rest of them they had to wait so that new industries will be set up and they will get the chance. So work hours were often very long, 14 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours they had to work, and wages were poor because unemployment was more and people wanted jobs. So the industrialists had the monopoly to select whoever wants to work in the cheapest wages. They were allowed to work, they were appointed. Those who wanted higher wages were not allowed, they remained unemployed. So the industrialists had the monopoly. Since there was a large number of unemployment people, so the wages were poor. They had to work long hours in the factory. Unemployment was common during that period. During the 19th century, unemployment was very, very much common. Most of the people were unemployed. They wanted work. They even wanted to work at a minimum wages. That's why wages were poor. So employment was common. Housing problem in the towns, housing and sanitation, cleanliness were problems as towns were growing. As more and more people reached towns in search of jobs, the town was crowded and there was a problem of housing and sanitation, cleanliness. It gave rise to criminal activities also. Those who did not get the job, they resorted to crimes. So that was the situation. And now will continue in our next class. Only thing, you need to pay attention to your online portal, and you have to go through every day. You must not break in the middle. If you break it in the middle, you will get lost. You will be confused. No doubt, I have given the title, I have given the chapter, I have given the title, even the subtitle. But still, you should not miss the classes. That's the only thing I can advise right now. You must pay attention when we are going through the online portal. Listen carefully, increase your volume so that you can understand, and increase the brightness of your mobile so that you can see the things clearly. Even you can copy the notes by taking the screenshots of this. So you must pay attention to your classes. You should not miss the classes and make good use of your time. That's what I can say right now. So I hope you are studying regularly at home and going through the online portal. Those who are not going through the online portal, they will miss a lot of things. They could not make out head or tail of the lessons. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson about this industrial society and the social change. This is a subtitle 1.2. So remember, keep that in mind. You look at the chapter, the title and the subtitle, and you go through that points so that you will not miss anything. Thank you very much for watching the video and being with me, paying so much attention and being with me in this class. Thank you very much for it. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson.